Hey there friends, it's Missy again. Thanks so much for stopping in today. I'm back with a new layout and video for Hip Kit Club, and I'm using the 2020 March kits. And this layout is for Cut File Tuesday, and so I'm going to focus on one of the cute cut files that you can get over on the website, and I'm going to call this a keychain. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's adorable, and I cut a few of them. And this is the picture that I started with, the sweetest picture of Paige sleeping, sucking her thumb. She finally stopped doing that a couple years ago, but she did that for the longest time, and I just thought she looked cute, so I had to get a picture of her on this particular night. And my first thought was I wanted to try to use a lot of the cute little animals that are on the sticker sheets and the die cuts from Jen Hadfield. And I thought that this was a sweet picture to kind of focus on that. And so the first thing I'm going to do is just start to back the tassels and the little oval, I guess that's a little picture frame on the cut files here. So I went through all the pattern papers and I decided for my color scheme I just wanted to use all the colors. So I'm going to use some pinks and some yellows, some blues, some oranges, and sometimes I will trace the shape and then cut it out and then stick it behind the cut file. But these tassels are very detailed and, you know, they're a strange shape. So I just added glue to it and then just stuck it right down where I wanted it on the pattern paper, and then I'm just going to cut around it. So, you know, that's pretty much an old school way to back a cut file. You know, whenever I back the oval spot, you can just trace that and cut it out. That's an easy shape. Or you can just glue it down like I'm doing here. It doesn't matter as long as it gets done. So yeah, I'm just going to take some time and do that and get both of the cut files back. So there we go. I've got some blue, some darker pink, some light pink, even a little bit of orange from one of the Heidi Swap papers. So this is going to be, you know, kind of a rainbow color scheme. I decided to change my picture. I kind of got away after I took a break. I decided that all the cute little animals weren't really going to work the way I wanted them to with this keychain cut file. So I'm going to save that picture and the animals for another layout. I did want to use these two pieces from some of the 4x6 Pocket Life cards. So I'm going to fussy cut out this floral cluster and then that really cute bicycle and that pink scalloped border. This bicycle has nothing to do with this layout whatsoever, but it is so cute. I'm going to make it work somehow. So some of this layout is going to be random things just because it looks cute. Sometimes I want my embellishments to have meaning to, you know, the theme or the photo that I'm using. And sometimes I'm just like, this is a cute die cut. I want to use it. Who cares if it goes or not? So that's what we're going to do. I'm using pattern paper as my background. This is from the Heidi Swap Art Walk collection. It's a really cute, soft blue paper. It's kind of like a ledger design on the background. And I'm just scraping down some white gesso there to kind of prep the cardstock because I do want to add a lot of mixed media on the background. And with this just being a regular pattern paper, it would rip and tear and the color would just soak right through. So I do decide to use some of the animals as the photos in these little oval shapes. So I'm going to use this cute little llama on one. And I thought I was going to trace it, and then I just decided, just cut it. Just stick it down, glue it, and cut it out. It's not that big of a deal. And then I went through the sticker sheet and wanted to find another cute little animal. So I just decided to use this adorable little fox. And I wanted one that would fit behind the oval because I cut the one on the left with the llama, I cut that one a little bit larger than I did this other one here on the right. So what I'm going to do is trim off the thick white border around this little fox and then stick it to a part of this pattern paper that is pink, so he'll have a background, or she'll have a background. There's a flower. Is it a boy or a girl? It doesn't matter. It's so cute. So glue that down. I'm going to cut those out, and then the cut files are pretty much backed. Now, if you've seen this cut file, you also get separate little pom-poms to cut out. So I did cut out pom-poms for each of these keychains, and I'm going to add those in later. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that out so the cut files are ready to go. And yeah, I'm going to kind of tuck the photo just like that. If you notice on the photo, there are, on both sides of her head, there are pretty much some open space. So I have room to overlap. Okay, so I'm going to pull some colors that we've got in previous color kits, and I'm just going to be using sprays today. These are all from Lindy's Stamp Gang, and I'm going to be using a darker blue color here to start with. It's called Blue Hawaiian Blue, and I'm just going to spray it right onto the paper, add a little bit of water, use my brush, tilt the paper this way and that. I'm using Grab-A-Guy Gold, I'm using Hibiscus Rose, and I just want all the colors. I want a little bit of pink, yellow, blue, green. I'm going to mix the yellow and pink together to create a little bit of an orange. And you can see here what's happening with my background. The paper definitely warped a little bit because, like I said, it's just pattern paper. And the gesso, once it dried, it did kind of add some waves to my paper. And so instantly the color is kind of pooling inside the warps. So I'm being very careful and kind of dabbing this up because I don't want it to dry that way. I do want the background to be soft. I don't want it to be as bold as it is right now, because then it's going to sort of blend in with the cut files and it's going to take away from the cut files. So I do want it to dry soft, and you can kind of see that it's already drying a lot softer than it is when I directly spray it down. This green color is called Mad Hatter Mint. And again, we've gotten all of these in previous color kits over the past year or so. So you can check on the website and backtrack and see which months we got these different sprays in. But they, most of them have shimmer. I don't think the pink one has shimmer, but the rest of them have shimmer to them when they dry. And I found that when I use the Lindy's products on white gesso, specifically the Liquitex, they do tend to dry very, very light. So when they first go on, you see how bold the colors are, but when they dry, it's very, very light. So, but that's okay. I wanted this to be light, and you'll be able to see kind of what I'm talking about once it dries and once I add everything back on top. And you can kind of see around the edges where I added some color and some water where there is no gesso. You see over to the right edges where it's darker, that's where everything just soaked right through the paper, and everything else is on top of the gesso. And so that's what allows all the colors to sort of spread and blend and run together without just ripping through the paper. So yeah, I'm going to see what it looks like at this point. It's still wet. I'm going to let it continue to dry a little bit, and then I'm going to come in with the little pom-poms that I cut separately, and I'm going to use the sprays, again, same colors, to add color to these. And I don't add any gesso or anything to these. I'm just going to go for it and do a little bit of each color, and then I'm going to add these to the cut files so they have a little bit of color on those pom-pom areas. So I just spritz it with water, and then I use the nozzles of the sprays and just kind of lightly tap the color right onto it and let it do its thing. I do bring in a lighter blue color spray that we got a long time ago. This one's called Tiffany Lou Blue, and it's just more of a softer turquoise blue, whereas the Blue Hawaiian Blue is more of a royal blue color. Some of them I mix the colors together, the pink and the yellow, to get more of an orange one. But yeah, this is simple. It didn't take but a few minutes to do. Doesn't have to be perfect at all because these are so tiny and small. And once I add them to the cut files, they're really going to pop. And another idea is you could cut the pom-poms on pattern paper if you did not want to color them. So now you can see the background. It's very soft, almost pastel. So I like that because it's still interesting enough to create some color on the background, but it's not so bold that it's going to distract or take away from all the colors that are in the cut file. So you can kind of see here my idea with the pom-poms, and this is just adding more color to the whiteness, the white areas of the cut file. And I really like how that looks, but I didn't want it to be super flat, so I'm going to add little bits of adhesive foam behind each of the pom-poms, and this is going to, you know, give them dimension, pop them up off the page, and then I'm also going to pop up the entire cut file off the page too. But I'm going to go ahead and glue down the pom-poms, and I think they turned out really cute, and I love this color scheme. So now those are done, I can go and start to add everything to the back. And this is just some adhesive foam. It's kids craft foam. I get it at Walmart. You can also get it at Michael's. You can cut it to any shape you want. And once again, this roll of tape in my ATG has not been my friend. I can't tell you how many videos I have filmed lately where that thing messes up on me. I don't know. It's loaded correctly. As long as I've had that thing, I do know how to load it, but it has just given me grief lately. So it's 2020, right? Everything is crapping out in 2020. 2020, not impressed. Not impressed so far with 2020. Things are just right. Am I right? Yes. I think you guys will all agree. But we're going to keep plugging along. We're going to do this video. Forget about the ATG gun. I've got my little glue bottle, and you see how loved it is. It always, it never clogs. It never messes up on me. I love that thing. All right, so now I'm going to work on embellishments. I'm going to use that bicycle. It has nothing to do with this layout. My daughter doesn't even ride a bicycle, but it's just too cute to not use, so it's going to work. I'm going to fussy cut out one of these little frames from a Pocket Life card. I'm going to use it as a layer. And then you saw where I put the two floral pieces that I fussy cut out earlier in the beginning of the video. The colors were just too perfect to not add to this. And the bicycle is going to go right down there at the bottom. I didn't know where else to put it. I just knew that it had to go on this page because it matches and it's just adorable. I wish Kim Watson would design a whole slew of those bicycles, and I would find a way to use it because they're just cute. So I'm adding some blue thread over to the right. I'm going to mix some yellow and more of like a, what is that color? It's kind of like a burnt orange yellow color. I'm going to mix those two threads together, and it's going to give me the yellow color that I've got, but also the color of the little fox. Kind of orange, more of like a burnt orange, I guess. So I'm going to put that underneath the little fox picture there. I'm going to pop the bicycle up as well, since everything else has foam under it. And then I'm going to very carefully lift things up and start to glue them down, because everything is right where I want it and I don't want to move it. So very carefully adding the glue. All right, so now we're going to work on smaller embellishments. I'm going to go through a lot of the stickers. There are plenty of stickers in this in the kits this month. A lot of the Heidi Swapp stickers, and I believe this one is from Heidi Swapp. It says "Love You More." I'm going to stick that above the photo, and then I'm going to use the word "sweet." We're just going to go short and use the word "sweet." This is from the Bloom Street, from Paige Evans, the puffy sticker words. It's the perfect color, it's the perfect size, and it's just a sweet, cute picture. You know, it's not a monumental event where I have to have the most important title ever, and so sweet is going to be it. These butterflies are also from the Bloom Street collection. I'm going to use one of those, and then I want to use a couple of these Heidi Swapp. They're almost like vellum clear stickers, and so I want the color to stay true. So I'm going to stick them to some white cardstock, and then I'm going to punch this one into a circle. It says, "Oh hey," and I love the green color, but I didn't want it to be the square. So this is an idea. If you want something to be a circle, make it a circle. Just punch it out. And since it was a really flimsy sticker, I stuck it on cardstock first. And also, like I said, you can kind of see through these, and so I wanted the color to be exactly what it was, and so by sticking it to the white cardstock, it's going to stay that color. I really wanted to use this Hello Gorgeous die cut also, so I'm going to make that work. I almost used some of those puffy stickers from Pink Paisley, but changed my mind. I do cover up the heart in between Hello and Gorgeous with one of the little gold hearts because the heart itself was more of like a red color. Don't really have any red going on, so going to work in these two die cuts here. I'm going to use adhesive foam behind both of those to pop them up off the page. Everything is popped up off the page. I'm addicted to dimension. I love creating depth on things, so we're going there. And it's really easy to line up things on this page because of the background. It has lines on it. All right, so I wanted to add something to the top of this big keychain. So I pulled out some of my embroidery thread, and I'm going to use a string of yellow and a string of pink together. And I'm not a very good bow tire, so this is going to take me a while. So that's as good as it's going to get. But I felt like it needed something in it. The other one's kind of covered up, so I didn't bother putting one in the smaller one. I did add a couple more flowers on each side of the photo, and then I'm going to use my black fine tip Sharpie to, I had to take my glasses off to get close. I'm getting old, you guys. I can't see anymore. I have to get right up to my layout, and this is my quarantine hair. Yeah, it's not very clean. I have bobby pins everywhere. Not cute, but you know what? Who cares? This is the most anyone's seen of me in 2 weeks, so there you go. Oh, anyway, there's the final layout. I added my journaling, I added the date, added a couple more splatters and all the colors that I used, but I think this turned out really cute. I love this cut file. It's so unique and so different, and you know, the possibilities are endless. I love how the little pom-poms turned out. And you can see why I add the foam here, how it just pops things off the page. Not too high, but it just gives it a little bit of shadowing and it gives it a little bit of depth so everything's not so completely flat. Yeah, so I took a lot of pictures here, so I try to get everything close up so you can really see everything. And yeah, I hope you'll use this cut file. Make sure you check the website underneath the cut file tab. And if you don't have an account with us, make sure you register and create an account. And even if you don't order any of the kits that particular month, you can still have access to all of the subscriber cut files, and they're free, and they're gorgeous ones every single month. So this is one for this month that Kim Watson designed, and I love it. Yeah, so anyway, let me know if you have any questions. I hope you guys are doing well, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching.